Helicopter Line Ground School. It's going to be a short video. I'm going to shoot something tonight that's going to go inside the Certified Flight Instructor section inside Helicopter Line Ground School. So I'll edit out this mumbo jumbo part, the getting started part, and put the nice clean part right into the hog site. So let's have a discussion about something that you should have for your CFI check ride, your Certified Flight Instructor check ride. I'm going to show it to you. I just put it together with this neat machine here. These are pretty inexpensive for anybody that likes to make their own documents. And this document, of course, you're going to need to download if you're going for a CFI, but you could download it to your iPad if you like an electronic version. You could print it off, put a staple in it. You can make a fancy little book like I did here. This is AC 6165. And the reason I'm telling you this is, when I started all those years ago, I've been using one examiner now for 20-some years. When he said, when you're getting your CFIs ready to bring them in for a CFI check ride, he said, make them download 6165, print that out and bring that with you to the check ride. Have that as part of what they bring that day. And I get why he did that, right? So every CFI check ride I've done for the last 24 years or 20 whatever years, my CFI applicants have always had this there. And the beauty of AC 6165 is endorsements. And this video is inspired because one of our Certified Flight Instructor Ground School members just emailed me yesterday. And he said, hey Kenny, I know there's some downloads inside Ground School and we do have some different things in there. He said, but did I miss a download for endorsements? And he got me thinking. I went in and looked and I didn't see anything. So I thought, you know what? I'll just shoot a video. And I answered him and said, 6165 is what you need. And the beauty of it is you can take this and study it, be familiar with it, but have it with you on hand. And if you keep it in your flight bag or your desk, wherever you're teaching your flight school or whatever, it's really handy when you want to look up an endorsement. There's plenty to look up. Just real quick, this advisory circular provides guidance for pilot and instructor pilots, flight instructors, ground instructors, and examiners on the certification standards, knowledge test procedures, and other requirements in Title 14 of the Code of Federal Regulations 14 CFR, Part 61. So you can always go to the FAR/AIM or wherever else to look this stuff up, but this is just a nice download to have. It's something for you to look at for anything involving certification, but mainly having the endorsements in the back, right? It's just nice. And I realize a lot of schools, maybe you've already got pre-printed endorsements that you can print off on the computer, and that's great if you have that. But at some flight schools, you may not have access to something like that. So if you're getting ready for your CFI check ride, print this bad boy out. We'll put it here down below this video inside the Certified Flight Instructor section, but I'll also put it under the download section so you can find it here. It'll also be with the other downloads near the end of the course, the CFI course. So do yourself a favor. Again, it's just something that you can use. It's a tool to have in your toolbox. Again, you could download it to your iPad, bring it up live if you wanted to, print it off, staple it, make a little book like I did. It's just, trust me, it'll be really nice to have. And I just went and renewed my CFI. I had to reinstate it because I let it lapse. Only way you can get your CFI back is if you let it lapse, is go take a check ride. So I'm going to be transparent. For all these years, I've had my students take these with me, or with them, right? So I go that day and I took my bag and I had my FAR/AIM and a PTS and the lesson plans of things I was going to do that day. Where was this? Wasn't in my bag, right? So we start talking and he starts asking me questions about endorsements. And I hadn't looked at endorsements for a while. It's not like I haven't filled a bunch of them out over the years, but it really had to make me think, right? And immediately I'm thinking, oh, I didn't bring that today. So as I'm thinking about the question he asked me, so I could, in my mind, stall for 10, 15 seconds while I'm thinking about how I want to answer the question, I did say, well, I normally have AC 6165 with me, and I make sure all my CFI applicants have that, right? He's grinning because he knows who inspired that all those years ago. And then I mumbled my way through it. But what a nice tool to have in your flight bag, or like I said, in the in the desk drawer at your flight school, but go into your CFI check ride, have this ready to go, have it laying out, because then he knows, the examiner knows, or she knows, hey, cool, this applicant's got the AC 6165 out there. And a general rule is, of course, don't present anything to the examiner that you don't know, okay? And I learned my lesson for that on my CFI check ride in California. I've talked many times, I did it with Tim Tucker, which was an honor, right? That I got to have Tim Tucker as my examiner. But the guy who was getting me ready, his name was Brian. And I remember the story, like, he's like, hey, no matter what you do, no matter what you have open that day, do not open anything that you're not 100% prepared to talk about and teach. And there was one, at that time it was the helicopter flying handbook or rotorcraft flying handbook, whichever, clear back then. And there was one page I was really intimidated that had a lot of figures and angles and all kinds of resultants, and it was a crazy page. By accident, I'm flipping through looking for something, and he went, he stops, he goes, go back to that page. I want you to teach me that. The one page in there that I did not want to go to. And after the check ride, Brian, the guy that got me ready for that check ride, he was like, he kind of like, give me what I deserved, right? He was like, I told you, do not open anything in front of him that you're not prepared 100% to teach, okay? So keep that in mind for your CFI check ride. Take all the tools you need. They're expecting you to come in loaded for bear, right? They're expecting you to have a whole pile of stuff, but make sure that what you take, you know how to use. And I wouldn't use this unless you at least went through it. It's not gonna take you long. 15, 20 minutes of leafing through this, you'll go, oh wow, hey, that's in there? That's in there? Very nice. And like here real quick, I just threw something on the show. I know I could go right to the endorsement page. How nice if you need to endorse somebody for something, whatever it is, a flight, your review, a check ride. It's all in here. Private pilot, flight instructor, instrument pilot, commercial pilot. It's all here. Very, very nice tool to have. AC 6165H. You just go to FAA.gov. I didn't even go to FAA.gov. I just put it in Google search. Boom, it came right up, and you can download it right from there. So whichever form you want to use, highly recommend AC 6165 for your check ride. All right, and that concludes our little bit that I'm going to edit up and put inside the Certified Flight Instructor section inside Helicopter Online Ground School. Put a link down below for helicopterground.com. That's where you can go for all our memberships. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you'll be notified of our upcoming videos. If you don't know who we are, got 10 years on YouTube, 900 videos. We do all kinds of stuff. We do flying videos, anything and everything under the sun pretty much we talk about in this channel. So do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.